Hello. I'm making a video. It is 6:01 p.m. on September 5, 2023. I think I should always say the date because of my videos. Because sometimes I upload my videos in a delay because some videos I make at the other house and then people don't really know what date I have made those videos. So, but for my own collection, for my own history of making videos, I want to add the date to the video. I think that's good to do. So, there are a couple of things that I want to talk about. I want to first of all say what I observe on the internet when I go into any random chat room, political chat room or whatever on YouTube. I notice that as soon as I start to talk about political stuff, my opinions are very unpopular. As soon as I start to get into the nitty-gritty of politics, they put me on hold. They put slow motion on for me. And you know what that is? You guessed it. It's called censorship, baby. Yes, that's what it is. And censorship is unethical. Censorship is the prevention of freedom of speech. Okay? So that's blocking people's freedom of speech. Okay? You need to be aware about this. Okay? And I find it enormous, like in the past, like the same people who in the past were so much for freedom of speech, right? We need to have freedom of speech. The liberal community, freedom of speech, rallies and all of that, right? Most of those same people today are against freedom of speech. Suddenly they are for censorship. And they come with arguments like, oh, if we allow freedom of speech, then some people will abuse that freedom of speech. Wait a minute here. You can't abuse freedom of speech, okay? But blocking freedom of speech, that's abuse. People need to understand. They need to, first of all, really look at all of this, okay? The entire situation. Need to become completely crystal clear about what is what. Freedom of speech is just a situational establishment, okay? You get to talk, I get to talk, okay? That's the same as with my brother and me, for example, My brother slanders me behind my back to everyone, tells people I'm crazy and stuff like this, because that's a convenient way of getting the other people to disregard what I have to say about him, right? So that's a wonderful way, this gaslighting, wonderful way for any criminal or really insane person to just debunk someone else. This is actually happening on a large scale worldwide with politics. And the liberal community has become a gaslighter. I used to be liberal. I used to be a Green Party member. Here and in Germany, wherever I went, I was on the side of the Green Party. So until later on I found out that Ralph Nader of the Green Party wasn't even working for anything green. Or Peter Camaro, or whatever his name is. They are not green, these people, right? So, and it slowly dawned on me, man, these people are not even talking about anything green. They're not talking about the English laurel and the trees and the meadows and the forests, right? No, they're not talking about any of that. The wetland, the fracking that's happening to ecosystems. They weren't even talking about. They were talking about consumer rights, so that they get the public on board, so that they can buy themselves votes. The entire Democratic Party has been doing this, and it's completely mafia-based now. I also don't trust any of the green parties anymore because of what I have seen. So things have turned completely sour and upside down. There's no justice. I don't trust any political party anymore. I mean, I'm not going to be on board as some kind of member of any political party. I will never be, okay? So I think the political party system needs to be abolished. That's what I believe. I think that we should only vote for an individual candidate. And that individual candidate should not be adhering or running under any kind of political party or religion or association or affiliation. Okay? They should be running as an independent, every single one of them. Okay? That's what I strongly believe. And the real good people would do that. But right now we have the party system, and anyone who does run as an independent, they're most likely not going to get voted for, because the public is so used to this political party affiliation. So they think that someone alone can't make it, or can't stand a chance, or can't stand on their own 2 feet, right? That's what the majority of people seem to believe, not just in the political realm, but psychologically as well. That's why people are religious. They feel like they would be knocked over if they wouldn't belong to whatever, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, Catholic religion, whatever, Muslims. They feel like they would be weak, or that would be dangerous for them if they stood alone. But it's exactly reversed, and Jiddu Krishnamurti talked about this. It is dangerous to adhere to an affiliation, to a party or a religion. I told you I'm making a video. Okay. Whatever. I came all the way in here into my greenhouse. This is my studio now, by the way. And my sewing studio. Yes. That is what it is. And a storage room also. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like it. It's good. It's all natural and it's nice. And it's actually warmer in here than outside. It is, right now, I would say it's about 5 degrees Fahrenheit warmer in here than it is in the garden. So that's pretty neat. So I like that a lot. And in the winter time, we might be able to route an outdoor cord into the greenhouse and turn this fan heater on. So, and that would be really neat. And I have to zip the doors closed. So then it's like a tent. So that's pretty neat. I like this. So that gives me an extra space for myself where I can do things. And I also like to make the video in the dining room. I like the light there, but then I get disrupted a lot. But I get disrupted here as well, so whatever. But yeah, those are the things that I think should be discussed, and these are, the gaslighting, the narcissism, I mean, it shows up in the political arena. It shows its full colors, okay? Gaslighting and narcissism. It really shows full force what it is. Okay. So now the mafia wants you to think that bad is good and good is bad. And a lot of people are now jumping on that bandwagon. And it's even becoming some kind of fashion, like, bro, that's bad, meaning good. That's been going on this has been going on for over 20 years, for 30 years at least. But it's escalating. It keeps on escalating. The mafia will do anything with your brain. They know exactly how you think. They know exactly how they can manipulate you, what kind of things you're afraid of. You are afraid of shame and humiliation. They exploit you to the fullest with that. And that's why I say you need to stand on your own 2 feet. You need to stand against the mainstream of mafia collaboration. Okay, you need to have the strength to stand alone against it. Yeah, you need to get this strength going. All it takes is a meditation and a realization that it doesn't matter how much you are being bullied or shamed or humiliated by anyone. It doesn't matter. Well, if people become violent, you get a pepper spray. You get a stun gun, maybe. Okay? Maybe you can, I don't know if anyone can just have a stun gun in their pocket, or if you have to get some kind of a license for it, but get that. Get yourself some personal protection devices. Okay, I find that important. People who have a dog usually do not fall prey to violent criminals. That's a fact. That's something I observe in the crime reports. Almost all the victims, it looked like, I would say all the victims, didn't have an animal, didn't have a dog. A few of them had a cat, but obviously a violent criminal doesn't care if there's a cat in the house. The cat is not as big as the criminal, obviously, and cats weigh, I don't know, like 10 pounds or something. So they don't stand a chance, even if they jump on the criminal's head, which I heard some cats might do to protect their best friend. But it's very rare, and that will only slow down the criminal, that will only startle the person for a moment, and then maybe the other person gets the chance to get the gun out of the drawer or whatever. So, but in general, a cat is not able to protect you very well. But a medium or large dog will protect you. Just to have a medium or large dog in the house is already a very safe situation for anyone. Because dogs, they don't care if someone has a gun in their hand. Okay, if a criminal comes in there and threatens everyone with the gun, the dog doesn't care. The dog goes for him. Okay, no matter what, the dog will give his life for the family. We can learn a lot from a dog. And this is not just because the dog doesn't cognitively understand what the gun means. Not only because of that. The dog would go for the criminal even if the dog did understand the danger of that gun. That's how loyal and unconditionally loving and protective dogs are. Dogs are gods. That's a fact. So, there are several things I wanted to talk about. They all have to do with the subject of psychological wholeness and healing, and the situation in the world with the gaslighting, the political gaslighting, the slander that's going on, slander against all the kind-hearted people. That's constantly, pay attention to this, and you'll see the people who are slandered, okay, they are kind-hearted people. Tom Hanks, Ellen DeGeneres are kind-hearted people. Bill Clinton is a kind-hearted person. Al Gore is a kind-hearted person. Okay, now we move into the present time. Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, kind-hearted people, slandered like there's no tomorrow by the mafia. Okay, so, but most people seem to be jumping on board with the mafia because the mafia knows how to manipulate you with your fears, with your fear of humiliation, and with your fear of being socially rejected. And they use that to the fullest degree. They link up things that have nothing to do with each other. They do what the behaviorist psychologists have explored in very unethical tests in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Skinner and Watson and others, that absolutely hideous psychological tests. But the mafia uses that information. They sure use that information. They see how people are afraid of being rejected by society. Okay? I am not afraid of it. It doesn't matter how you ridicule me and how you shun me out of your whatever, your ridiculous drug parties, which I already don't want to go to, or your whatever, your chat rooms, or your whatever it is, okay, your groups and affiliations and religions, your Vogue parties, your Vogue magazine parties, your Vogue magazine parties, your whatever, anything that is being sold to the public as cool, any of these people. I don't care what anyone says about me and my haircut and me being overweight. I don't care. And guess what? It feels so good. It feels so super empowering, okay? It's empowerment, baby. That's what I like about that guy Daniel. That guy Jeremy Fragrance is his official, his trade name, okay? He says, power, baby, like just like that, okay? And he means it for every one of us. Okay? He does it. He loves Donald Trump. He loves Tony Robbins. He learns from these people. These are good people, and he knows that. And he doesn't care if people laugh about him. He goes to any talk show, any discussion forum. And I saw him in one discussion forum. He's from Germany. He's actually originally, his parents are from Poland, I believe, or Ukraine. But he and his brother, they were born in Germany. And so I think he has dual citizenship now, German, US. He has a house or home in Miami, and he has a lot of money now because he made it from scratch, that man. He's amazing. He's very uplifting. He's a role model, I think. I may not agree with him on everything, right? I'm probably not gonna agree. I don't agree with him on maybe how he views women or whatever. I don't really know 100% how he views women, but like he's being sued and all of that. But he's being sued by people who are woke, so by weak feminists. And so, I'm a feminist, but I'm not weak, so I know what's right and wrong. I would never jump on the wrong bandwagon with anything. I know Islam is wrong, okay, so I know it, 100%. I say that as a person, as a mother of all living beings, as a dog mother, as a feminist, as a non-militant feminist. This is a fact, okay? I'm sure Jeremy would agree with that. I would like to talk to him. I don't know really exactly what all of his views are, but I'm sure I'm not gonna agree with him on everything, and I don't agree on using alcohol and perfumes, so I already talked to him about this briefly on his channel. But he believes strongly in alcohol and perfume, so that's okay. That's his business, He has the right to do that. And to be honest with you, I don't agree with anyone 100%. Okay, there is not a single human on this planet and beyond that I would agree with 100%. And you know why? Because I'm not religious. I'm not jumping on a bandwagon. I don't view anyone as my superior or guru or whatever. A role model, like superpower over me or something. I can probably my only role models are the animals, dogs, horses, etc. and Gautama Buddha, Jiddu Krishnamurti. Okay, those are obviously my role models. And Jiddu Krishnamurti comes in many forms as dogs, animals, humans, many different forms. Maybe a plant, maybe a mineral, a crystal. So who knows? What this man has been saying all along in his conversations is rock solid truth. Okay. And people will say, but then you're adhering to a guru. He is not a guru. He made that very crystal clear that he doesn't want to be a guru. They threw wealth and guruship at him. Okay, he rejected it. He said if he accepted all of that, which I think he should have accepted, because then more people would have listened to him. But he said if he did accept that kind of power coming from England, from the Theosophical Society, then all of that would go against what he's actually teaching, what he's talking about, which is don't adhere to a guru. Okay, so he would probably not even like it if I say, but he's my role model. But he is my role model because he is truth. He speaks truth. So, but even with him or with anyone, I test these things for myself, okay? I find out. I mean, all of this makes sense right on the spot, right? But I will test it out for myself. I'll go into meditation. I will let go of that denial. I'll let go of denial. I'll let go of any form of resistance to that what is. And it's safe. It feels totally safe. It feels totally safe. The neighbors are loud. I apologize for that, but it's nothing I can do. That's why Eckhart Tolle said, rightly so, money can buy you space and distance to your next door neighbors. Okay, if you have a lot of money, you might have a mile in between. And then you can do primal screams and all of that, and you're not gonna go on the other person's nerves. Or they can do their whatever. I don't even want to say the words. They can do their partying, and I don't have to smell it or hear it. So yeah, that's. But right now, so we have the other house that has more distance, but we're getting it ready to sell. Right now we're moving everything here, and this is a temporary situation. We're going to be out of here in hopefully 1 year or two maximally, okay, and then we will have space to the next door neighbors, okay, and we'll be rescuing animals. I want to rescue a pig baby, a cow baby, and a draft horse baby if we can find those that need a home. If we can find those rescue animals somewhere in an animal shelter or sanctuary, that would be great. I will contact Ingrid Newkirk. They have at least one sanctuary in Southern California. I think they have another one. Helga Tackreiter has one in New Jersey. She rescues cows. She works with Ingrid Newkirk. Helga is amazing. Okay, she said the cows, they dance under the moon. It's the truth, and my haters are gonna laugh now about this. It's the truth. What I'm saying, it's the truth. I believe her 100%. She said you won't believe it. What she has observed out of her window when she looks over the meadow at night when the moon is shining. The cows they're doing line dancing. I mean, this is amazing. I believe it. I really believe it. You would be amazed if you could just create mental stillness. Mental stillness, that means let go of this party shit and so the humans and society. Quiet down your brain, go out into nature and just sit there and observe animals. You'll be amazed what kind of intelligence you will be observing. Social intelligence, psychological, emotional intelligence that is off the charts that you will observe. Even a slug, an invertebrate, as I've shown you in several videos already, a slug, a banana slug, will know the difference between my skin and a violent criminal's skin. the slug will feel it. Okay. Psychically, physically, just by contact. That's why a slug is always mega relaxed on my hand. They stretch out to the maximum. Okay. My guinea pigs in the past, they would always stretch long. You know what that means for a guinea pig to stretch long? That means total relaxation. Most guinea pigs, when you get a guinea pig in a store, they're usually not relaxed. They're very tense, and when they're tense, they are condensed. They pull together, like they become like a ball, sort of self-defense mechanism. A hedgehog works the same way. A hedgehog has needles as hair. A hedgehog, when the hedgehog feels uncomfortable, they condense. They go into a ball. They can even roll up their face and everything. They can roll the whole entire mantle of needles over their soft belly. And when a bear comes, the bear might roll them around like a ball, but the bear is not going to pry them open because the needles will sting the bear. So that's a natural evolutionary defense mechanism. Yeah. The guinea pigs don't have the needles, but they will also condense. This is a natural defense mechanism. All animals are relaxed on my hand and on my body. I had a real large snake around my neck on Venice Beach. I had a boyfriend who had all of these animals, like Latino Mexican guy. I think he was from Mexico originally. Short Mexican guy that I dated at that time. And I was sitting there with him, and there would always be people coming over to see the animals. He had this large iguana who loved attention. He was just wanted to be among people. The iguana would always go onto the boardwalk, and I would have to run after him and bring him back into safety because I didn't want someone falling over him or accidentally stepping on him or kicking against him, so I had to make sure that he's safe. And all the time while I was bringing the iguana back, I had this huge yellow snake around my neck. I don't know what snake it was, python or boa constrictor. I mean, if they get tense, they constrict, constrictor, They constrict their own bodies, and when they do this, they will also coil and they can constrict an enemy, right? They'll constrict around the enemy's neck. So that's all defense mechanism to protect themselves. The snake was mega relaxed. A female snake, yellow and white pattern, amazing pattern, snake patterns, like aqua type of patterns and stripes and coils and beautiful scale, and she was so relaxed around my neck, and she just loved hanging out and feeling my skin, the warm skin. And so they feel it. All animals feel this. Some people say, oh, reptiles are cold-blooded. No, they feel love. They feel someone's love. They know how to discern between someone who is aggressive and someone who is unconditionally loving. They know. Okay, so I rescued a hedgehog with my crazy psychotic boyfriend Norbert one time. Yes, baby dog. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. And and that was quite a story also. That was in Germany a long time ago, and there was this how's that called? Like a city train. There was the end of a city train, and they would go and take a break there at the end of the end station. Okay, and at this end station of that city train, they had a swimming pool, which is very weird in Germany. How can you use an outdoor swimming pool unless the water is hot? But the water was not hot. That was just for decoration. And there was a fountain in the middle that was sprinkling. And I hear a noise like bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. I look closer, and there is a hedgehog, a large, full-grown hedgehog, who could not get out. He went in there to get water. I think it was during the summertime. Then he couldn't get back out because the side of that pool was like a painted cement that was very slick and smooth. And it was rounded, and there was no way he would try to climb up and fall back in. So he was swimming in circles, and just in the nick of time, I was able to hold it back like a fabric bag over onto the surface of the water with both of my hands. And the hedgehog knew that I mean well. Right away. No hesitation at all. He right away came over, climbed onto the bag. I put him on my chest. And right away he stretched long. Because he felt it. He felt my unconditional love. So I carried him on my chest. We went for a long walk past gardens and gardens and gardens of those vegetable gardens that people have. And so at some point I saw a nice vegetable garden with cabbage growing in there, and I set the hedgehog over the fence and let him walk around in that garden. And I to hope, pray to the blue God. At that time I didn't know about this Gautama Buddha and Shri Krishna Murti. So, but I put my faith into the infinite cosmos, that is what it is. So, but no, I didn't know any of these words at that time. But I had to put my trust. This is where we have to put trust in it. Even if we are agnostics and atheists, we have to do this sometimes. We have to sometimes put trust into something, because we have no other choice. Like it's what Tony Robbins talked about, when you're driving on a freeway, you have to at least put your face in the oncoming traffic. Okay, you have no other choice. Same in a relationship. He was using that as a metaphor. Same with this situation, putting the real large, beautiful hedgehog over the fence into that vegetable garden, hoping that the people are going to be good to him and giving him something to drink, water, or maybe some milk or veggie milk, and be good to him and to have him there as a pet. So that is my prayer to the infinite cosmos. And also in retrospect, that was what I wished for then. So that's what I asked the infinite cosmos then, but I didn't know how to word myself. So, yeah, the animals know. They know exactly who is kind and who is unconditionally loving. There were other things that I needed to say. So, what was it about this? What I observe about communication with people, that they put denial and they put their pride and their fear of shame, they put all of that above love. That's what most people seem to be doing. It's what I observe. So they're more afraid of social rejection than they are afraid of not getting this intimate, warm friendship with that person they like. Okay, so the fear of social rejection dominates over that in their heads. And the mafia uses that to their fullest advantage. Okay, you need to understand that. That's why you need to dissolve that fear of social rejection. You need to dissolve it. It's very sad when I see that. I see this happening on the internet particularly. I was thinking about a bully in school when I was 16 and 15. There was this bully in school that was constantly bullying me all the time. He hated me and he was really, really mean. And some of these girls, some of them were like very much for justice, and they would say he was giving girls some candy or something that he brought with him. And they asked him to give me some too, and he didn't want to give me any. And I was sitting there with them right in the same circle. And then he reluctantly, he threw the candy at me. There's no way he could give it to me gently like he gave to the other girls. No, this is what I'm afraid of. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely no rambunctiousness whatsoever. I'm gonna get very, very upset. Very upset. So he literally flew against the store here. And then he's gonna damage it again and destroy it. And we've already seen this before when we had the greenhouse over there where it didn't have the stability, where he threw the paint cans over and all of this. And I don't want that to happen again. No, we do not want this. We do not want that to happen again. That would not be good. Yes, throwing all the paint cans over on the floor, red and pink paint, all of that on the floor, and then making the cement pink and red and all of that. I don't see why we should be doing this, wasting all of that paint. My goodness. Yeah, that would not be good to paint that to paint all of that cement, and then what if that happens here? Then the paint would all fall on the ground, and then there are little animals on the ground and all of that, and they would get paint on them. No, we don't want that to happen. Look at that beautiful chest. Now that's a beautiful chest, is that? That is a beautifully freckled chest. Yes. So, okay. There was one more thing that I wanted to say. No, I don't know. I forgot now what it was. What was it? There are so many things that are going through my head. So, by the way, I have a collection of plants here that I brought with me from the other house. Here is spearmint, and a white rose, and a purple rose, and the English laurel, and an apple tree, and an avocado tree. And I want to bring all of this with us to the farm when we get the farmhouse eventually. So, and here are blackberries. Blackberries. They are so good. They are so good. You can make smoothies with those, with plant milk and bananas and blackberries. Very, very healthy. And the apples are coming along. Apples are growing. Then we can make apple smoothies with them. So, what else was that? I don't remember now what. Oh, and then this here. This here is called pink pampas grass. This is originally from Argentina, but it came over to the United States and North America in general. On people's shoes, I assume, under their shoe profile, came all of these seeds incidentally over to this region, and then they seeded out and they are doing very well here. So, and I like them. Some people don't like them. They think that's an invasive species, but I don't believe that there is anything such as an invasive species. That's just normal evolution, you know. So species do get carried from one region to another. That's just what happens. I don't recommend people to do that, particularly with animals, you know. So leave them where they are, where they want to be. So unless that the other region has the same temperature. So this here is beautiful, and you can cut this, and then you can use that in this. This is now the right, this is just the right developmental stage that it is in, where it feels kind of moist to the touch. This is the right developmental stage where you can cut it and you can use it to dust your house. Okay, so yeah. And that works really well. And after you dusted your house with all the spider webs and all of that on it, then you can cut it up and you can put it into the compost pile, or you can mulch it, you know, and then put it in the compost. So anyway, that's it for now. Take care, peace and love.